We're live. Hello. I'm here kind of early because I have a thing at 9 o'clock, so I didn't want to butt right up against that with my normal hour-long stream or cut the stream super short. So we're just doing it a little bit early. So hello, I'm Amanda Call, and I'm going to continue working on this comic page that we've worked on for a couple weeks now. This is a page from I Am the First. It is chapter 3, page 3. We have drawn this whole thing on stream. We have started inking it, and now we're going to continue inking it, see how far we get in the course of this hour. So I've got my Hunt 107 Crow Quill here. I think before I start using this, though, I have some objects that are going to require some templates. So I think I'm going to actually dig out my tech pen. Well, one of my tech pens. This is the smaller one. Make sure it's flowing. Looks good. I've got my little scratch paper off to the side there. And then I'm going to get a circle template and do some of these circles. Let's see. I got to find the right size circle. That looks about right. Get that lined up there. And then we're just going to do the outside. This is a tennis ball, so it's got not a super perfectly round. It's perfectly round, but it's got a fuzzy texture to it. So since this is a pretty close-up shot of this tennis ball, I'm going to put that texture on and use the circle template to be a guide there. Making that texture right up against it. So then, it's all fuzzy, but it's still perfectly circle. But then over here, because the ball is smaller, you're not really going to see that level of detail. So we're just going to do a little swoop around it with the template. Ta-da! It's a circle. Circle templates are your friend. All right. Now I can actually open my ink because now I did the thing with the pen. Now I can go back to using my actual nib pen. So I've got my very messy bottle of Winsor Newton India ink here. Dip and get some ink. I have my French curve for doing some more of these more geometric, not organic strokes that I need some help with tools for. So we've got this barrel over here. Oh, I could match up the curve on that. That works okay. I think that'll work. All right, I'm still going to have to do that side of that lid for the barrel, I think is what that is. I say I think as if I'm not the one who drew it. I am, but I don't remember what I did. All right, I'm going to let some of that stuff up here dry a little bit before I come back to it. So I'm going to do just the last little bits of pen inking that I can right now. Which in this case is going to be this sheet plastic that's all bunched up here on the ground. There we go. I'll come back to this tennis ball because now the outside of that should be pretty well dry. Same thing as before. I'm using the tool to make sure that the curve is doing what I want it to do, but I'm making a little texture line on it. I think this bottom curve might be a little bit tight for me to try to do with this. Let's see if I can manage it. I'm gonna have to do it in 2 parts, it looks like. Hello, potato. Thanks for joining me at this slightly unusual time. There we go. All right, what do we have left for pen and ink stuff on this page? We've got these little bits in the background here on the pipes. I think I can just freehand those for the most part. All right, cool. So I think that panel is done anyway. Oh, there's a little curve of the ball there. I think I should probably go in and get. Managed to get an eraser on my pen nib, so I'm going to give it a quick clean here. Hope everyone is having a good start to their week. I had a very good, busy weekend. My first con of the year. Bangor Comic and Toy Con. Went very well. Got to see a bunch of people. Sold a bunch of stuff. It was very nice. Oh, no. I was trying to get that out of the way so it didn't smudge, and I dropped it, and it smudged a little. Tisk, tisk. I'll have to clean that up later. What a mess. Goodness. So yes, I had a very good weekend. It was busy and very tiring, but very good. All right. I think that's all the pen and ink stuff I can do for now. There are a few things I'm going to go back in and do with the pen after I do the brush inking, and that's like some of the details, like the plaid pattern on Alex's shirt, for example. I will want to do that in pen, but I don't want to do that before I have the outline and all of the lines of the forms and folds of the fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a brush now. Finish cleaning my pen and move my tools out of the way. So now I'm switching over to the Winsor Newton Series 7 number 4 Kolinsky Sable brush. use my scrap paper over here to hone down that tip after I get it loaded up. That's what I'm doing off to the side. All right. And start doing the brush inking. Always got to be careful with blonde hair to like give it texture but not make it look too dark. Gotta get in just enough texture to get the idea across, but not like have it suddenly look like it's super dark because you put so many lines on it. All right, there's Alex's moody little face. Look at that, so serious. Yay! First panel mostly done. I still gotta go back in and do his plaid, but first panel mostly done. Gonna focus on the positive here. This one will be done when I'm done with it, though. That's good. Hey, it's Todd. Hey, Todd. Thanks so much for joining me. I am inking a comic page. This is a page from I Am the First. We have released the first 2 chapters. Chapter 2 just came out last week, so it's available now on Amazon and Drive-Thru Comics and Barnes & Noble and Kobo and all of the things, like all of your digital book apps and sites and things. It should be on like all of them. Yeah. It's written by my friend Jeremy Flagg, drawn by me. So like I said, the second chapter just came out last week, and I am working on chapter 3 because until it's done, it just never ends. The con went really well. I had Bangor Comic and Toy Con this past weekend, and it went great. It was a really good con. It was stayed nice and steady, but never got like super hectic. And I made a lot of good sales, and I met some cool new people and got to hang out with my friends, my con fam that I have not gotten to spend hardly any time with the last couple of years. So that was all very nice. It was a very good time. Very successful weekend too. Yay! Now that panel's done. Yay! So some of my friends, I've made a point to, some of my like con friends from New England, I've made a point to see if I possibly can prior to this convention. But some of them I hadn't seen, and some of like my like not even super close friends, but like just acquaintances that you tend to see at these types of events I hadn't seen in like 2 years. It's like, oh, hello, you still exist. Nice to see you. Hooray! It's a hand. That's an ear. There we go. In case you couldn't tell, I hope you can tell what I'm supposed to be inking here. Inking is as impeccable as always. You are always stellar in college. It's been fun following your comic and your growth since then. I never got used to a brush. Well, thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. I can definitely see the improvement in my brush skills. But thank you. I'm glad to see that I am actually improving and it's not all in my head. I do find it kind of funny though whenever I'm at a convention and I'm like showing people Age of Night for the first time and they start like flipping through the first book, and I started drawing that book as my senior project in college. And so those are some very old drawings, and I'm just like, as they start looking through it, they're like, oh, the art's pretty nice. I'm like, it gets way better. Because I find the art in the first volume to be pretty cringy. So my drawing has definitely gotten much more consistent, if nothing else. I'm not going to say that I never make a crappy drawing anymore. I definitely still have crappy drawings in me. Sometimes a crappy drawing is just what needs to come out of you. And sometimes you're just in a hurry to meet a deadline and don't have time to make it better. Much as you might want to. Sometimes good enough is as good as it's going to get. But I more consistently make competent drawings, I guess. I did start early, Spud. I had to start early because I have an interview at 9:00 tonight where I'm going to be talking. Jeremy and I are going to be talking with someone about I Am the First on their radio show. So I didn't want to be doing this until like 2 minutes before I had to jump on that Zoom because I have to like totally rearrange my setup to do that because I only have one camera and right now it's pointed at my drafting table, which doesn't work well for doing an interview. So I did start the stream a little early in order to make it so I didn't have to scramble too much for that, but I did not want to miss the stream. So just bumped it a little bit. Todd says, senior projects, that was a race to the finish for me. Yeah. The sequential senior project, because I think Todd was animation, if I remember correctly. Which animation, that's a beast. They have a lot they have to do for a senior project. Sequential, our senior project requirements were pretty reasonable, like pretty easy, I would say, because we only had to do like, I want to say 8 pages of comics over 10 weeks. It's very reasonable. And they only had to be inked. They didn't have to be like colored or anything, just 10 inked pages. Plus like one assessment assignment that did have to have one. Oh, you were Sequa too? I thought you were animation for some reason. Why is that? Why did I think you were animation? Probably because you like do animation work now. So that's confused me. How did we like never have any classes together? That's so strange. Anyway. Yeah, sequential kids only had to do 8 comic pages, but I was like, I'm going to do 20. Very smart, Amanda. But that 20 pages was the first chapter of Age of Night because I knew I wanted to work on that project. So I took a concept development class my second to last quarter and worked on getting the concept hammered out, and then I did And then I did the first chapter for my senior project. So I was like, well, I've started it. Now I got to keep going. Oh, I see. That was my confusion. Todd started as animation and then transitioned to sequential. So our classes were out of sync with each other. That explains it. I did also graduate early, so my class sequencing got all messed up because I did a couple of summers in order to graduate early because I lived in Savannah. So I was just like, I'll just keep going to school in the summer and get out of here early and stop paying these ridiculous tuition increases. Why is my phone ringing? Why? No, I don't want to talk to you. Go away. Professor let me do a different kind of senior project. I made a design Bible for an animated show since my focus was animation. Oh, yeah, a design Bible was a lot of work. Yeah, I had already done like one summer quarter, and then I saw the in the spring I saw the tuition increase for the next, like they've always published the tuition increase for the next year, like a rates and fees schedule for the next year. And when that came out, I was like, oh, I need to make a plan to get out of here like now because the tuition went up so much. I was like, oh, no, 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 that's enough of that. All right. Hooray. Okay. Sweet. That's 3 panels mostly done. Only 3 panels left on this page, and we've got 30 minutes left. We'll see how far we can get. Either way, this will be the last stream for this page because there's no way I have an entire other stream's worth of work left on this one. It was a pretty simple page, so we got through it pretty quickly. Only this is what, the 3rd session? This didn't take long at all. That's pretty good. That's like 3 hours of work for this page to get it inked. Drawn and inked. That's not bad at all. It's pretty fast for an I am in the first page, especially. Oh, crashing into stuff. Oh. Thanks. I draw kind of ridiculously fast. The focus of these panels is such that they don't have a lot going on in the background either, so that will make a lot more sense when the rest of the scene is done. Get Roxy's hair without making a mess on her arm. Jeremy was complaining about flatting her hair texture because it's a big, like, not closed shape. Sorry. Poor Roxy, getting tossed around. She doesn't deserve this. Hello, Hungry. You're not late. I'm early. I have something I have an interview at 9 o'clock, so I wanted to make sure that I was done and clear from this in plenty of time so that I didn't have to rush off to that because I have to, like, redo my camera and everything to do it. So I started early. So that's my fault. I didn't want to miss the stream and I didn't want to cut it super short, so I started a little early. Thanks. I think it should be pretty chill. Oh, that was a funny thing that happened this weekend, though, is that on Friday, which was like the first day of the convention, it was only a half day, and we're all, getting all set up, and people are just filtering in and kind of checking it out. And, the local news is there because, like you do in a small town type area. I mean, Bangor is like a big town for this area, but it's not a big town by any actual metrics. So the local news was there, and the reporters just kind of walking around, talking to people and everything. And he walks by with his big giant camera, and I say hi because that's what you do when someone walks by your table. You say hi, and he stops and he's like, "You actually said hi to me, even though I'm carrying a camera. Do you want to be interviewed?" I'm like, "Sure." I'm not gonna say no. I'm not shy. And so I was on the local news. I've done a lot of interviews for, like, web shows and podcasts and that sort of thing, either about game design work or about comics, and I'm pretty comfortable doing it at this point. So I was just like, yeah, this is fine. All right. Yay. Well, that came out nice. I like the way her leggings came out there. I also enjoy doing my interviews with Jeremy because we're just big goofballs and we start riffing on each other a lot. So it's always a good time. Boots. Ooh, that got wobbly. Let's fix that. I think I was doing that at an awkward angle. That's a little better. A little less wobbly. Still kind of wobbly. There's like a plane going directly overhead. That's very loud. All right. Is that that? Is that that one? I think so. Oh, I think there was supposed to be another line for that pipe back there. It was like, what is this stray line? That's for that pipe. I'll have to fix that when I come back with the pen in a little bit here. All right, last tier. What? I've got like 20-ish, 20, 22-ish minutes left. Really pretty close to done with this page, I think. Okay, let's hone down that point a little more. It's not. There we go. So again, we got to keep those lines for his blonde hair pretty fine and not too many of them, so his hair doesn't look dark. Well, I did start early, story comic. I did. But hey, you're at least getting to catch some of it before I have to leave. Because I have to end early, which is why I started early. Oh, story comic is one of the shows I have done before, that I've been interviewed on before. You should check that out if you have not. Check out Story Comics channel because he does all sorts of really cool interviews with different creative people. I am a friend of the show. Did you announce that you were going early on your TikTok? I didn't announce it on TikTok. I did post a TikTok today. It was about bread. I made a very unattractive loaf of bread, but it was very delicious. It was not aesthetic, but you know what? Sometimes your food is not aesthetic, but still quite yummy. It's like, what's going on with these extra lines? Oh yeah, he's supposed to be wearing ripped jeans. Whoops. There we go. Oh, what just happened? Chickens and bread. That is my TikTok. Chickens and bread. Lots of chickens and bread. Occasionally art. Mostly chickens and bread. All right. Ew, what is what is on my brush? What is this? What? Ew, what is that? What the heck? Weird random objects getting on my brush. Gross. Don't know what that was about. More ink. I need more ink. Fill all that in. There we go. That line got a little jaggedy. That's better. Okie dokie. Look at that. That panel's done too. Now we only have this last panel, and we've got still like 13 minutes left. We're doing great. We're doing great. Plus the stuff we have to go back and do with the pen. But there's not a lot of that, so. All right. So close to being done. I think I might go just a little over on my normal time if we're like really, really, really close to done. Just because I want to finish it. And I do have a little time to spare. This is how I get myself in trouble, though. Because then I'm like, oh, I have time. And then I don't really. Some of those lines did not meet all the way. There we go. That's better. All right, get her hairline. These little feathering strokes here. Get her puff. Like, missed my ink pot over here. Accidentally got way too much ink on my brush. I'm going to hone that down a little bit. Wipe off some of the excess before I proceed. Oh, poor Roxy. Having a hard time. This comic would make a great Kickstarter. Hey, it did make a great Kickstarter. Now it's a great limited run series that's happening. Oh, dang it. I missed. I was being sassy and I missed and made a mess. That's what I get. I'll have to clean that up. That line does not belong there. That little, you probably can't even see it on camera, but there's a little line on her chin. Doesn't belong there. This comic did make a great Kickstarter. Now it's a great limited run series that is available on all of your favorite digital comic buying apps. Like Amazon and Drive-Thru Comics and Barnes & Noble and I don't know, name some others. I don't know. It's on like all of them. Yay, I did all the brush inking. And we have 6 minutes left normally. I'm going to see how much I can get done on the pen inking. All right, cleaning my brush off a little bit in the water. I'll clean it more thoroughly after the stream. Switching back over to the pen. We're going to get this plaid situation under control here. And I will remind you of all the things while I do this. I'm Amanda Call. This is a page from I Am the First, which is written by my friend Jeremy Flagg and drawn by me. You can find I Am the First digitally. Chapters 1 and 2 are now available. It is a limited run series, so we will have 5 chapters, and then we will be releasing the completed story as a trade paperback graphic novel. So that should be happening before the year ends. I'm not going to give you like an exact date because I don't know what's going to happen between now and then. Still got a lot of drawing to do. If you like watching me work on comic pages, you should subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do these every Tuesday night, usually at 8 Eastern. I started a little early this evening because I have a thing coming up soon. Oh, I got to do that line. I work on comics and sometimes other stuff, but usually comics. I'm usually either working on an I Am the First page or I'm working on an Age of Night page. Age of Night is my webcomic that you can read at ageofnight.com. That is a fantasy story. This is a superhero story. They're very different. They have a different art style and everything. Age of Night is available to read for free at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. Almost there. I might go like a minute over my hour. Oh no, I'll get yelled at, or I would, by the person who advises me not to go over an hour, except that I don't think that he actually ever watches any of my content, so he won't know. That's right. Calling you out. If you're in the audience, speak up. You know who you are. All right. Plaid situation. The plaid is like pretty easy to do when the characters are just like standing there. Once they start moving around, the plaid gets incredibly tricky to not get confused by. It's like, wait, I've got to bend the pattern? What? You can follow me on the other social medias. Here on YouTube, Twitter at Age of Night, Instagram and TikTok at Amanda Call Art. I think that's it. Ta-da! And we did it! Hooray! And we're going to be just under an hour. I started with this page fully penciled and the inks just barely started, and now after an hour, the inks are done. This page is done. Hooray! Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me this evening. I'm sorry I was a little early and messed up the timing, but next week we should be back at the regular time. Thanks everybody. I will see you next time. Bye.